If you receive SSI or SSDI, this is an important update that you need to hear clearly and calmly because a major payment shift is coming very soon, and many seniors and people with disabilities are already feeling confused or worried about what it means for their monthly income. Today's update is not about rumors or fear, it is about understanding what is actually changing, why the timing matters, and how this shift could affect when your money arrives, how much stress you feel, and what steps you should quietly take to stay prepared. Everything you hear today is explained in simple, everyday language so that anyone can follow along, even if government programs have always felt complicated or overwhelming. Over the past several months, payment schedules for Social Security, SSI, and SSDI have been under pressure due to calendar changes, administrative adjustments, and updated processing rules. Many people assume that benefits always arrive on the same date every month, but that is not always true. When holidays, weekends, or system updates come into play, payment timing can move forward or backward. Right now, we are entering one of those periods where multiple factors are lining up at the same time, creating a noticeable shift that will affect millions of Americans. For SSI recipients in particular, timing matters more than most people realize. SSI payments are normally sent at the beginning of the month. However, when the first day of the month falls on a weekend or federal holiday, payments are issued earlier. This can feel like a bonus at first, but it is not extra money. It is simply your next month's payment arriving sooner. The challenge comes later when people forget that they already received that payment and then feel financial pressure weeks later when there is no new deposit. SSDI payments follow a different structure, usually based on birth dates. That system normally feels predictable, but even SSDI is not immune to processing shifts. When system updates, banking timelines, or federal scheduling adjustments occur, deposits can move slightly earlier or later than expected. Even a 1 or 2 day change can create anxiety, especially for people living on a fixed income who depend on every dollar arriving on time. Right now, this upcoming payment shift is especially important because it is happening alongside rising costs for food, utilities, rent, and medical care. Many seniors are already stretching their budgets carefully. A change in timing, even without a change in amount, can cause stress if it is not planned for. That is why understanding the reason behind the shift is just as important as knowing the date itself. Another factor involved in this shift is internal processing adjustments within the Social Security system. Each year, administrative updates are rolled out to improve payment accuracy, prevent fraud, and adjust benefit records. These updates do not usually reduce benefits, but they can temporarily affect how fast payments are released or how banks receive them. When these updates coincide with calendar changes, the result can feel sudden or confusing to recipients. There has also been increased attention on payment accuracy, especially for SSI recipients who have income limits and reporting requirements. Even small changes in reported income, household status, or living arrangements can trigger a review. While most people will not see any reduction, reviews can sometimes slow processing or require verification, which may affect the timing of deposits for certain individuals. It is important to understand that a payment shift does not automatically mean a payment cut. Many people hear the word change and immediately fear the worst. In most cases, the benefit amount stays exactly the same. What changes is the date the money arrives. However, knowing that does not remove the need for planning. When deposits arrive earlier than usual, it becomes easy to spend the money too quickly, forgetting that it must last longer until the next deposit. For seniors and people with disabilities, stability matters more than anything. That is why it is helpful to treat early payments with caution. An early deposit should be handled as if it arrived on the normal date. This mindset helps prevent gaps later in the month when bills are still due but no new money is coming in. Another important detail is how banks process federal payments. Even when the government releases funds on a certain date, banks may post deposits at different times. Some banks release funds early, while others wait until the official payment date. This means that neighbors, friends, or family members may see their deposits at different times, even though they receive the same benefit. Comparing deposit times can cause unnecessary worry, so it is best to focus on your own account and expected schedule. There has also been discussion about broader benefit adjustments and long-term reform, but those are separate from this immediate payment shift. While lawmakers continue to debate the future of Social Security and disability programs, no sudden nationwide cuts are happening right now due to this timing change. The system is still paying benefits as scheduled, just with temporary shifts in timing. Understanding the role of the Social Security Administration can also help reduce confusion. This agency oversees SSI and SSDI payments and follows strict rules when it comes to scheduling. When dates move, it is usually because federal law requires payments to avoid weekends and holidays, not because the agency is choosing to delay benefits. One practical step seniors can take right now is to review their upcoming bills and expenses. Knowing which payments are due and when helps prevent panic if a deposit arrives earlier or later than expected. Planning ahead gives peace of mind, especially during months with unusual calendars. It is also wise to be cautious of misinformation during times like this. Whenever payment schedules change, scammers become more active. They may claim they can fix delays or increase benefits for a fee. The truth is that legitimate benefits are never adjusted through phone calls, text messages, or unsolicited emails. Any changes to SSI or SSDI happen through official processes, not private offers. This payment shift is a reminder of how important it is to stay informed, calm, and prepared. While the system can feel complicated, most changes follow clear rules once they are explained properly. The key is knowing what is happening before it happens rather than being caught off guard. As we move forward, it is important to look not just at the timing of the next deposit, but also at how this shift fits into the rest of the year. Some months may feel tighter than others simply because of when payments arrive. Recognizing this pattern allows seniors to budget more effectively and avoid unnecessary stress. In the next part, we will go deeper into exactly how this payment shift affects SSI versus SSDI recipients, what to expect in the days immediately ahead, and how to protect yourself financially so that this change does not disrupt your stability or peace of mind. We will also discuss common mistakes people make during early payment months and how to avoid them. Now that you understand why this payment shift is happening and why timing changes can feel so unsettling, it is important to focus on what the next few days and weeks may look like for you personally. For many SSI and SSDI recipients, the biggest challenge is not the amount of money they receive, but the rhythm of when it arrives. When that rhythm changes even slightly, it can throw off an entire month. That is why preparation and awareness matter more than panic. For SSI recipients, the shift is usually felt more strongly because SSI is designed to cover basic needs, and many people rely on it as their primary or only source of income. When an SSI payment arrives earlier than usual, it can create the illusion of extra money. In reality, nothing extra has been added. That payment still needs to cover the same number of days, groceries, medications, utilities, and other essentials. The danger comes when people spend as if another deposit is coming soon, only to realize later that the next payment is still weeks away. This is where mental planning becomes just as important as financial planning. Treating an early payment as if it arrived on the normal date can make a big difference. Even setting aside a portion of that deposit for later weeks can help smooth out the month. This approach is not always easy, especially when immediate needs are pressing, but it reduces stress later when there is no new deposit to rely on. For SSDI recipients, the impact may feel slightly different, but is still important. SSDI payments are typically tied to birth dates, which gives a sense of predictability. However, when processing timelines shift or when holidays affect banking schedules, deposits can land earlier or later than expected. While the difference may only be a day or two, that timing can still matter when bills are due or when automatic payments are scheduled. One helpful step is reviewing automatic withdrawals. If rent, utilities, insurance, or loan payments are set to come out on fixed dates, a shift in benefit timing could cause overdrafts or late fees. Adjusting expectations or even contacting service providers if necessary can prevent unnecessary penalties. Many companies are willing to work with seniors when they understand that income timing has shifted. Another important point to understand is that this payment shift does not signal a permanent change to how benefits work. These timing adjustments come and go throughout the year, depending on the calendar and administrative needs. While it can feel disruptive, it is not a sign that benefits are being reduced or eliminated. Keeping this perspective helps prevent fear from taking over. There has also been confusion about stimulus-style payments or additional assistance being tied to this shift. At this moment, there is no automatic bonus or extra check attached to the timing change itself. Any additional support programs are handled separately and require official approval. It is important not to assume that an early deposit includes extra funds. Checking the amount carefully helps avoid misunderstandings. For seniors, peace of mind often comes from routine. When routine is disrupted, anxiety can rise quickly. That is why it helps to focus on what remains stable. Your eligibility has not suddenly changed. Your monthly benefit amount has not been quietly taken away. What is changing is simply when the money arrives, not whether it arrives. Another practical step is keeping a simple written record of deposits. Writing down when money arrives and how long it must last can make budgeting feel more real and manageable. This does not require complicated math or technology. Even a notebook can help you see the bigger picture and avoid surprises later in the month. It is also important to talk openly with trusted family members or caregivers if you have them. Letting someone know that a payment arrived early or may arrive later can help with planning and support. Silence often increases stress while communication reduces it. During times like this, misinformation spreads quickly. Some people may claim that payments are being delayed on purpose or that benefits are being cut behind the scenes. These claims can be frightening, but most are not based on facts. Payment timing shifts are usually explained by calendars, processing schedules, and banking procedures, not secret policy changes. Another concern many seniors have is whether this shift could trigger benefit reviews or problems with eligibility. For most people, the answer is no. Timing changes alone do not affect eligibility. However, it is always wise to make sure personal information is accurate and up to date, especially income reporting for SSI recipients. Keeping records organized helps avoid complications in the future. This payment shift is also a reminder of how important it is to plan beyond a single month. While living on a fixed income makes long-term planning difficult, even small habits can help. Spreading expenses evenly when possible, avoiding unnecessary purchases during early payment months, and prioritizing essential needs can reduce financial pressure over time. It is also okay to acknowledge that this system can feel overwhelming. Many seniors did not design these rules and did not ask for complexity. Feeling frustrated or tired does not mean you are doing something wrong. It simply means the system is not always easy to navigate. What matters is staying informed and taking practical steps to protect yourself. As the days ahead unfold, watch your account calmly and patiently. Avoid checking obsessively, as this often increases anxiety without changing the outcome. If a deposit arrives earlier than expected, remember that it must last longer. If it arrives slightly later, remember that it is still coming. This moment is not about fear, it is about awareness. Knowing that a payment shift is coming allows you to adjust expectations and reduce stress. Even small adjustments can make a big difference in how secure and confident you feel. In closing, remember this important takeaway. A change in payment timing does not mean a loss of benefits. It does not mean you are being forgotten or ignored. It simply means the system is adjusting to calendars and processing rules. By understanding what is happening, planning carefully, and staying alert to misinformation, you protect both your finances and your peace of mind. You have learned why this payment shift is happening, how it affects SSI and SSDI differently, and what practical steps can help you manage the change without panic. Staying informed is one of the strongest tools you have. With calm planning and clear understanding, you can move through this shift with confidence and stability, knowing that your benefits are still there and that you are prepared for what comes next.